One of the most misunderstood du'as that you're going to find in the Quran is the one of Musa when he says, Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin faqir. The reason why this is so misunderstood is because people think that this dua is saying, Allah, whatever that you can send down to me, please send down to me because I am in desperate need. And if you understand the true meaning of this dua, I'm telling you, bro, you'll say it, you'll feel it, and then you'll see the effect of it almost instantaneously. The same way that Prophet Musa alayhi salam felt. Prophet Musa, understand, he just went from he was in a palace where he was extremely rich, getting the best education of all time, and all of a sudden he went from this to having literally zero money, no house, no spouse, nothing. And as soon as he says this dua, and the du'as, understand, the du'as in the Quran, they were basically a reflection of what the Prophet was feeling in their inner states. So Prophet Musa in his inner state, this is exactly what he was feeling. And as soon as he felt this way and he said this dua, he went from having nothing to having a spouse, having a house, having a job, having safety, guaranteed safety too. So how do you go from this to this almost instantaneously just like that? It's by you understanding this dua right here. And this dua says, people for some reason they mistranslate it saying, my Lord, I am truly in desperate need of whatever provision that you may have in store for me. But understand, Prophet Musa is saying, Rabbi inni lima anzalta. Anzalta is past tense. Anzalta is not present tense. Anzalta is not future tense. It's past tense. Anybody in the Arabic language, they would know this is literally past tense. What he's really saying, after he went in the shade, he helped the two girls, and then he went in the shade, he's saying, Allah, whatever that you've sent down to me, just know that I was in deep need. Do you understand what this is saying? Whatever that you've sent down to me, just know I was in deep need. This is it's a big difference from Allah, whatever you can send down to me, please do so because I'm in deep need, to saying, Allah, whatever you've sent down to me, just know I was in deep need. The next one is him showing gratitude. The first one is him showing desperation. And the thing that makes me really sad is that people come and then they use this dua to prove that it's okay for you to beg and be desperate for things. And I'm telling you, when you're desperate for things, Allah's not going to give you that thing. And I'm not saying that harshly, I'm saying that as a universal law. Because Allah Himself says that He's giving you from everything that you've ever asked for. So how do you truly make dua in a way where you will say the dua, you will feel the dua, and all of a sudden the dua immediately is just there? I'll give you an analogy. Before you get mad at me, just please understand this analogy, because I'm not coming here to give you like bad news or to make you feel sad and to make you feel like you have no say in your destiny. What I'm trying to do is to let you know that Allah is so merciful that He'll give you whatever you ask for. Just know how to ask. And when you know how to truly ask, you'll see that Allah is so abundant. So abundant. I've seen it in my own life. And this is what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm literally trying to help you right here. So I'll give you an analogy so that you understand truly how to make proper dua, so that when you say it, it gets accepted, inshaAllah. So think of you are in a dark room. Dark room. This room contains everything that you've ever asked for. And Allah clearly states that Allah has given you everything that you've ever asked for. I can pull up the ayah, but I believe in Surah Ibrahim, where Allah says, وَآتَاكُم مِّن كُلِّ مَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُ وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. So Allah is saying that He's given you everything that you've ever asked for. And if you were to sit down and try to enumerate the blessings of Allah, you would never be able to actually count it because there's just too many. So you're in a dark room and it has everything. You making a dua, though, when you make a dua, the thing is already there. All you're doing is just you're asking Allah to place light within you so that you see the thing actually there. Does it make sense? You're in a dark room where everything is there, which means you don't really have to be asking for anything because everything is already there and Allah already told you. So all you got to do, your job, is to ask Allah to give you some light so that you see that that thing has already always been there. That's what a true dua is. And then you look at all the prophets, that's the way they ask. The way they ask, is for them to be connected to Allah. There's a big difference between dua and nida. Nida is when you're just complaining, when you're just like, Allah please, like this happened and this happened and this happened. And we could see some prophets do that. Prophet Zakaria, he's like, my head is gray, my wife can't get children anymore, and I can't get children anymore. So he's just complaining, and it's okay, you can do that. But this in the Quran is called nida. Allah, when He gave him his request, when he did the nida, Allah didn't give him the request immediately. Actually, he had to go through some steps, and then his request was accepted. Compare this with the other instance when he was making dua. He was like, when he truly made dua, he said, Allah grants me offspring from you because you are, I believe he says, you are the hearer of dua. I think he said this, or that you are the most merciful of the merciful. But that was, I think, Prophet Ayub. So he used a name of Allah. And as soon as he did that, Allah says, فَاسْتَجَبْنَا, that He immediately responded to him. Look at all the other prophets. As soon as they make dua this way, when they ask to be connected to Allah, then Allah says, immediately we responded to them. Look at, for example, Prophet Ayub. He made dua. He made nida in the beginning when he was complaining, Allah, the shaitan has touched me, this happened. And then Allah told him, gave him steps, go and do these steps, and then his nida was accepted. Compare that in the other surah, when he made a dua, and the way he made the dua is that Allah, the shaitan has touched me, but you are the most merciful of the merciful. Allah says immediately we responded to him, gave him back his health, gave him back his family, and gave him back more wealth than what he had before. Way more blessings than he had before. And that's why Allah says you make dua, true dua, not nida. Dua, because Allah has shown you prophets do make nida and prophets do make dua. But dua is way better because dua is instantaneous. You make a proper dua, Allah is going to respond to you immediately because He's done that with all the other prophets. That's the sunnah of Allah. That's the way of Allah. So then now, how do you truly make dua? And I just gave you one hint, one tip, and it's that understand everything is there. All you need to be doing is just fill yourself with the light of Allah so that you can see the thing actually there. Because it's already there. All you need to be doing is just see that it's there, and that's when it becomes manifest in your physical reality. So you make dua for money. The best thing for you to do is don't ask Allah, please give me more money. When you're saying, Allah, please give me more money, you're affirming your desperate need for money, and you're affirming your lack of money. And as a result, that's exactly what you get. In fact, what's going to happen is that Allah is going to make you go through a series of steps so that you can finally understand that the money has always been there. It's always been there, bro. What are you talking about? Your awareness is just too low to realize that the money has always been there. So how are you supposed to be making the dua? Instead of saying, Allah, please give me the money, say, Allah, allow me to see the money. That's all it is. Allah, allow me to be the one that can be open enough to receive the money. So you make a dua knowing the money is already there, and all you're doing is just you're connecting with Allah. And use the names of Allah. إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ خَيْرُ الرَّازِقِينَ. You are the best of the ones who give rizq. إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْوَهَّابِ. Say that because that's the Prophet Sulaiman, he made the dua. رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي وَهَبْ لِي مُلْكًا لَا يَنْبَغِي لِأَحَدٍ مِنْ بَعْدِي إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْوَهَّابِ. Rabbi, forgive me and give me a kingdom that no one else will ever have except me. You are the Wahhab. So that's what you do. You connect with Allah through His names. And then when you connect with Allah through His names, Allah's going to open up your eyes to make you see that it's already always been there. And what's so funny, by the way, is that when you do receive the money, you'll always realize like, what the heck, like the money came to me and it was literally always there. So imagine if I didn't do the thing that I did to actually make it come out. You'll see that it's always been there. I made dua to get married. Allah inspired in my head to go and do certain things. And those things led to me getting married almost instantaneously. I look back and I was like, that option was available to me the whole time. It's just I was too blind to see it. Every time I make dua, I look back and I was like, I was too blind to see it. They call it hindsight bias. You are too blind to see that your acceptance for the dua is already here. You're just too blind to see it. So just make a dua for Allah to allow you to see, to fill you with light so that you can see that the thing is it's always been there. And then when you see that, trust me when I say that that's when you start seeing your du'as happening almost instantaneously. So this dua right here, don't be thinking that Prophet Musa is saying, Rabbi, please give me something. Anything that you can give me, I'll take it. That's not what he's saying. And I feel so bad because We've been duped into thinking that's what he's saying. He's saying, Allah, just know that whatever you've sent down to me from before, past tense, I was in desperate need of it. So what is he really saying? Going back to this point, what is he really saying? He's showing gratitude. And gratitude is light. The more that you remain in gratitude, the more light you have. So instead of being stuck in negative emotions and fighting those negative emotions, no need to fight them. Just turn the light on. How do you turn the light on? Remain in a state of gratitude. And Allah told you, you become grateful more and more, I will increase you more and more. Simple. It's actually very simple. Allah wants to give you. Allah made you so that He can give you. So that He can show you how much of a Rizq He is. Trust me, He wants to give you. You need to stop being desperate. When you're being desperate, that energy is not energy of receiving. You'll never be able to receive things when you have the energy of desperation. However, when you walk through the world with the energy of gratitude, that's when your eyes are opened up in the dark room, and then you'll see that whatever that you've wanted has always been here. How do you truly do that? Connect yourself with Allah. Connect yourself with Allah and His 99 names. There are so many names for you to use. So many qualities actually. So connect yourself with the qualities of Allah. And then when you're connected to the qualities of Allah, that's when you receive light, because Allah Himself is light. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. So I'm hoping that this was really, really helpful, because honestly, bro, for me, this was extremely, extremely helpful. Something that truly changed my life. So I'm hoping that this is also going to be changing your life. And if it did, Habibi, just let me know.